Shanyell, McCloud, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And what is Clean Slate, Wisconsin?
Clean Slate is a second chance organization for men and women that have made mistakes in their past, paid their debt to society, and want nothing more than to be self-sufficient. We focus in on expungement of those records to promote equal access and opportunity for those people to have a better shot at personal advancement.
And specifically when we talk about Milwaukee, what would you say are some of the biggest economic problems for people in Milwaukee?
The Milwaukee politics, the way that businesses are handled. We talk about job creation, but yet they're steady de-industrializing Milwaukee, and the bigger manufacturers move out. It also makes it harder for businesses to start in Milwaukee, and so that's the job creation part of it. And then you have just the overall, over policing. That so if you have over policed, and you also have a court system that's over prosecuting and over sentencing, and bam, you have the records, and just to start a spiral of poverty, from generation to generation. But I would say that's the biggest thing. When the factories left, when the work left, drugs come in, and the rest is history.
Do you think places like Milwaukee are also dealing with crime because of places like Chicago, and then Chicago not resolving issues there?
I know it is. I personally have been a subject of crime from people from Chicago. So what happens is we have a Section 8, right? So Milwaukee actually offers, from what I hear, better welfare, amounts of welfare, and more food share than Chicago. So what would happen is they will open up the federal Section 8. So if people from Chicago, Gary, Indiana, sometimes even Detroit will flood over to Milwaukee and bring those issues to Milwaukee. So Milwaukee actually looks a lot worse than it really is. So it's not the actual residents that's extra violent, it's people from Chicago bringing that violence. So absolutely, and it's an unchecked thing. Housing is a major issue. So when you dry up and deprivate an entire community, and I'm talking about almost zip codes at a time, you can see a clear distinction and then we're also segregated. It's segregated, like crazy. So you can see the clear distinction from the north side and the south side, the economic, concentration and development from the east side to the west side, and then this middle, the inner city is always left out. It's all this development going on downtown, and there's all this money and pockets of wealth around the city of Milwaukee. I always say this: Milwaukee is not poor. Milwaukee is not poor by far. You have the Third Ward, you have all these places, Miller Park, all these different places that has a wealth, but the city is always left, out of the equation when it comes time to the economic development and the serious investment that it needs. So money is leaving, but none is coming back.
One more question. What are your thoughts? We kind of touched on it about money being spent downtown. Your thoughts on $250 million of our tax dollars going to that Milwaukee Bucks arena, and do you think that could have been spent better somewhere else?
I know it could have. For one, we didn't even need a new stadium. It was not even needed. It was just, we got the money, let's spend it, even though they say they don't have the money. So when it comes down to repairing the water system, when it comes down to repairing the roads and now not even talking about the highway, I'm talking about the regular streets. you know, that'll tear up your car, tear up your axle when you driving down your serious potholes. When it comes down to housing, you know, the city and the county cry broke all the time when it comes to developing affordable housing. But you got all this money for a new stadium, and the people around it, so you can see the gentrification, you can see the bleaching of the area as we speak. So as soon as they put that arena downtown, next thing you know, the Fond du Lac is now about to get bleached. You got people from the suburbs that are now attracted to the city that will come in with their money and push people that have lived there, probably was born there their whole lives, push them out wherever. They don't care where they go, as long as they're not around them. God forbid they want to live around the poor people, even though they came into the poor people's area. So yeah, I've always been against that new stadium. But you know what? If you see the trends in other cities, you will see this is nothing new. This exact same thing happened in Chicago. When they put that new stadium there, they pushed the people in the projects out of it. Just completely unstabilized the area, and made poor people even poorer because you push them out their habitats just so some people from the outside can come in and feel better about themselves.